So what's going on, guys? I'm not sure if this works. I'm not sure if this works, but if it does, like I said, this is just a trial. But anyways, what we're trying to do today is this logo animation right here, and I'm just gonna pull it up. This logo animation right here is what we're trying to recreate. So the way I went about this, so you guys can see it better, is so I was giving this logo in PNG, and I brought it into Photoshop. Make sure I brought it into Photoshop, and then I just basically used my pen tool. I'm sure majority of you know how to use the pen tool. The pen tool, you can just see it, letter P, and you can just use it to kind of cut out whatever you want. And the reason why we're doing this is just to the reason why we're doing this is to kind of have our letters into different layers, so that by the time we take it into After Effects, it will be easy for us to do all our animation. So you see here, I've kind of separated all these shapes into different layers. You see, if I turn off the eye, you see that each of them just represent different. I kind of renamed some of them. So then I saved it as a Photoshop file. Then I go into After Effects and I brought it in. So immediately you bring it into After Effects, it will give you all these layers that you have here already, pretty much like the one you have from your Photoshop file. So what I now did then is I kind of just wanted to have this directive right here. I wanted it to come out, which was the first thing. Like you can see, the first thing that comes out is the directive, and then I wanted the R and the D to kind of just slide out, and then they open up for this middle shape right here, which is like the main shape that I really want to emphasize on as far as the logo animation. So what I did is, for the directives, all I just did is, if I click on the directives right here, you can see if I push on P, I just animated the position from down to top, and you see that right here, while it's like below, you still don't see it, and even if I put it on transparent, you won't see it. So what I did is I just added a shape layer, as you can see here. Then I used it as my track matte, so I inverted it. Like you can see, I have that on top so that I can use the to kind of hide the directives, so that when it animates, you don't see anything but until the animation comes up. I don't know if that makes any sense, but that's pretty much how I got that to happen. And if I move on to the R&D, it's the same thing that I did. If I come to the R here, you will see, if I click on the icon to show it, you can see that there's a shape that is kind of covering for the R, so that when the R moves from left, we don't see it. To the right is when we see it. So I did that for both the R and the, if I turn off, and the D, you can see that the D comes from the left to the right. So kind of just using those shapes to kind of hide the letters before they kind of animate out. So I would so for the middle one, which I know that is the most fun one, you can see that it's actually separated into its own composition, and I'll just open the composition. So what I did here is I pretty much just animated each of the shapes one after the other, and I kind of just offset all of them so that they kind of come in at a very like random way, so it gives the animation more interesting feel. So what I did for, you can see for the base here, I kind of just did my animations from top to down. So you can see it goes up, comes back down. So in the middle here, I kind of just added kind of like an overshoot. So it goes from down to up, it shoots up, then it comes back down, just to add that kind of wiggle to it. It makes your animation more cartoony and more interesting. So I did the same thing with the base here. I kind of added a shape here to kind of hide it below, so that when it comes to the top, and then we see it's kind of a really nice way to review your shapes or any sort of way. Then the arc, what I just did with the arc is, if I press U to show all my keyframes, I just animated the rotation. You can see the rotation comes in like that. So I rotated it on the negative space, then I made it like shoot out more, then comes back to where it originally would settle down. And for the accent, this was just more of a just adding more details to the animation. As you can see, this white right here, it's not part of the logo, and that's why I didn't let it last till the end. So I just kind of used it to kind of direct your eyes to kind of showcase that, oh okay, there's something that is about to reveal out here. So as you can see, it kind of just goes in and out, pretty cool way, huh? Then as for these, you see it comes from below and it goes up, it shoots up and comes back down. Then I added a little bit of rotation. As you can see, I added a little bit of rotation. And as for this, the telescope looking thing, what I just did is I animated it as, let me see where it is the white right here. If I press the U, I animated the scale. Ideally, if I click on rotation, you can see that I had to rotate it in 45 degrees. I started it with like 0 so that it's a straight line. It'll be easy for me to do my animation. So what I did is just use my scale on, I turned off the scale tangent, so that it's not scaling proportionally, because I just want the scale on the x-axis. So it is the x that I'm scaling. So it starts from 0, as you can see, it scales out to 140 and comes back down to 100, which is comes back down to 132, which is my final scale. So then once I got that, then I just rotate it to how I want it, which is 45 degrees. So you can see that. And same thing with this little shapes right here. You can see the top. I'll press mine, so you see it was just the same scale popping out and going back down. And that same thing I did for the bottom one right here. So if I press U, this goes and comes down. So that's pretty much it, guys. There's really not much to it. If you have any more questions, I'm not sure if this has been I'm not sure if this has been recording as far as the live, but yeah, hopefully this worked. But that's the logo animation breakdown that I just wanted to showcase. If this live view works properly, I think I will just go ahead to be creating more live videos so that it's easier for us to kind of go with. So yeah, that was it, guys. I hope this was helpful. I'll end the stream now and just check out to make sure that this really did work. Okay, guys, catch you guys in the next video. Ciao ciao.